Michigan hockey has lost 2 out of 3 games. Oh, woohoo. 3 out of 6 now that they have lost, losing to Minnesota on Thursday night. They were number 1 at one point in the sport of hockey, but Michigan State proved that they were number 1 by starting Michigan's slide. In the duel in the D where they destroyed us, they proved they were number 1 in that sport. Michigan basketball doubled their losses to 2 after being humiliated by number 1 Duke. I thought it was a humiliation. They absolutely beat us up. So Duke is number 1 now. Michigan keeps losing to top teams. Can they win down the stretch? I had high hopes for both of these programs this season. And my question to all of you is, which one has the best chance to do well in the NCAA tournament? Which one is going to win it all? Could both of them still win it all, like I hope that every Michigan fan hopes will happen? Or will just one? Who makes it farther if neither one does win? That's an interesting question here. These two former number 1 teams have to prove it down the stretch this season. And Michigan hockey was number 2 and lost to a Minnesota team that was 11-18-2. They lost that game in Yost Ice Arena 4-2. Michigan led the Big Ten standings by 1 point entering Thursday. But Michigan State had 4 games left, so to Michigan's 2 games. So they had more opportunities for points, of course. Michigan needed 3 points in this game to have a chance. They got a power play early on, 14 minutes left in the first period. Valentini tipped one in for the power play goal at 12:07. Michigan was up 1-0. Then Minnesota got their first shot on goal in the entire game, and it was under 6 minutes left to go in the first period. Shots were 9-2 after 1 period for Michigan. Yes, Michigan's going to run away with this and dominate, right? Nope. Minnesota got a power play, 15:27 left in the second period, which Michigan killed, but they got a rhythm. Zemer then scored in transition on a leak out from the left circle. It was a long shot over Ivan Kovic at 11:59 left. It was a 1-1 tie. Shots had flipped now in the second period early on. It was 11-11. It was a tie. Michigan only had 2 shots to Minnesota's 9 with 8:29 left in the period. Michigan then put on 8 straight shots to end the second period, but to no avail. The second period ended. In the third period, Minnesota got another power play at 18:42 left, so not less than 2 minutes into the third period. Minnesota goes on the power play, and Mooney scored the power play goal at 17:18 left. It was 2-1 Minnesota. Then on a 3-on-2, Minnesota scored again. Lucky this time. 16:05 left in the game, so back-to-back goals within minutes for Minnesota. 3-1. Hughes finally scored for Michigan, the legendary brothers. A couple of them played for Michigan, a couple of them scored for Team USA, who won gold. He scored with 11:17 left to get Michigan within 1 goal. Hughes is the captain. Hughes is the leading point getter, active point getter in the entire NCAA. He's played there 4 years. He's got it by a mile. He finally gets on the board for Michigan. Okay, 3-2. Michigan was up in shots. 32-14 with under 7 minutes to go, but still was down 1. Michigan needed 2 goals for Big Ten standings purposes. They needed to beat Minnesota in regulation to get the 3 points, and they couldn't do it. Big Ten aspirations are all over. Michigan went empty net at 2:22 left in the game, and Zemer found the wide open net with 1:34 left. It was 4-2 Minnesota, and that's how the game ended. And what happened to this great Wolverines team? You know, the leading scoring team in the nation has in the best power play used to be in the nation. It's all coming back. I understand the Big Ten is a powerful, great conference, and Michigan State and Wisconsin and Minnesota are all good teams. Notre Dame, Penn State, they're all good. Ohio State. But Michigan was on a tear that was unlike anything I had ever seen in the first 2/3 of this season for hockey. Game 2 tomorrow at 6 o'clock really doesn't matter. Does Michigan rest its players and just take second place in the Big Ten, the second place standings for the tournament, as they have a bye next week? They might need 3 points to stay there, though, because some of these teams have 4 games left, like Michigan State, which is inevitably going to get them the Big Ten regular season championship and the number 1 seed in the Big Ten, and probably number 1 overall in the NCAA tournament. So how much does being a second 1 seed from the Big Ten matter if Little Bro wins the regular season yet again? Michigan has to get their act together down the stretch. Same as the basketball program, the basketball team, that is. Michigan basketball has their toughest stretch down the season in these last 3 games. At Illinois, who is number 10. At Iowa, who is nearly ranked. And then Michigan State, who's number 13 currently, but just beat number 8 Purdue. All of those teams are going to be rooting for one another and for Michigan to lose again and again and again. They need Michigan to lose out in order to share the regular season championship with Michigan, and it starts with Illinois on the road. One of the teams vying for that split share. Michigan wins there versus any one of these teams. They win the regular season Big Ten championship. They get the 1 seed in the Big Ten tournament. They get the double, triple bye, whatever it is. And then number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. And they probably are going to get the region that they want for that. But like I said, all Michigan needs to do is beat one of these teams to clinch an outright Big Ten title this season. But it starts at number 10, Illinois, on Friday night, where Michigan hasn't won in the last 9 tries. Hopefully, Morez Johnson, who was a transfer in from Illinois, has a big day, just like all of the other Michigan transfers have had coming in, like Roddy Gale did versus Ohio State, like Mara did versus UCLA. I think touches from Morez Johnson and Adai Mara will be very welcome for this Michigan team. We got to prove that we can feed the post. We can get points down low. We can get offensive rebound putbacks. We can do that because Illinois has the best offensive rebounding team in the nation. So we have to do that to put Illinois' defense under pressure in what is probably going to be a low-scoring and physical affair. I had this as Michigan's 3rd loss of their season in the preseason, and it could very well be just that. I can't deviate from that because Illinois is elite. They're really good. But Michigan can't do like hockey did and lose the Big Ten regular season sole possession by being subpar down the stretch and losing down the stretch. They can't lose to Iowa and they can't lose to Michigan State at home after beating them in Breslin. So, which of these two programs can get it done down the stretch after kind of flailing here lately? Let me know. And oh God, we have to deal with Gus Johnson, who's went to Michigan, supposedly a Michigan fan, but every time he does a Buckeye show or something, oh, the Ohio State Buckeyes. God, he's I can't stand him, but I'm not going to say anything more bad about him. It's on Fox at 8 o'clock on Friday. Michigan plays Minnesota again on Friday at 6 o'clock. So I might be able to catch both of those. Go Blue. I'd like to win them both. Secure second place in the Big Ten in hockey and go on and win the NCAA tournament after winning the Big Ten tournament like they did last season. And then for Michigan, same thing. Except secure the regular season, win the Big Ten tournament like last season, and go on and win the NCAA. I think both these teams could do it. The rosters are there. There's something funky going on down the stretch for both of these programs. But I think both of them can snap out of it just like that and go win. Which one has the better odds? I'd say basketball. I think basketball has the better odds. What do you think in the comments below? Like, share, subscribe. Remember to do that, please. Like the video. It's free. Share with other people who you might think would be interested in this content. And subscribe if you have not. It's free as well. Go Blue.